Welcome to QLM Business News. Tesco, Sainsbury's, and competitors reject accusations of excessive profits amid soaring prices. Top executives from leading supermarkets have vehemently denied making excessive profits in the face of rising prices, asserting that the sector is currently the most competitive it has ever been. During a grilling by MPs, Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda, and Morrison's bosses defended their pricing strategies concerning high food and fuel costs. The supermarket leaders rebuffed claims of overgenerous profits, emphasizing their commitment to shielding customers from the full brunt of escalating expenses. The competition watchdog is currently investigating the levels of food and fuel prices in the market to determine if a lack of competition has led to customer overpayments. MPs on the Business and Trade Committee questioned supermarket executives about the reasons behind ongoing food price increases, despite some wholesale costs experiencing declines. According to the British Retail Consortium, BRC, representing supermarkets, food prices rose by 14.6% in the year up to June, slightly lower than the 15.4% increase recorded in the year ending May. This reduction doesn't signify falling prices but rather a slower rate of increase. Persistently high grocery prices remain a significant contributor to the overall inflation rate in the UK. Committee Chairman Darren Jones noted that, except for Morrison's, all four supermarkets had reported increased profits compared to pre-COVID levels. Jones cited instances of Asda employees having to visit food banks to collect donated items stacked in their own stores due to financial difficulties. In response, supermarket representatives stressed their payment of the national living wage or higher and insisted they were taking all possible measures to protect customers from rising costs attributable to increased energy, labor, and commodity prices. Jane Hunt, a Conservative MP, questioned whether the supermarkets might be operating as a cartel and engaging in price collusion. In response, Chris Comerford, Asda's chief commercial officer, defended the UK retail market as the most competitive. All four supermarket executives expressed their disapproval of the idea of price caps on essential foods, a proposal that had been under government consideration but was never formally presented. Various figures, including politicians, union representatives, and the Bank of England's governor, have questioned why supermarket prices haven't fallen as swiftly as the wholesale costs of ingredients such as wheat. Some have speculated that retailers might be retaining savings as profit rather than passing them on to customers. Supermarkets have previously stated that they reduce prices when possible, but they also explained that wholesale cost reductions take time, typically 3 to 9 months, to translate into shelf price adjustments. Helen Dickinson, the head of the BRC, anticipated that food inflation would decrease to single digits later this year. Most major supermarket chains have recently introduced price cuts on essential items. Sainsbury's, for instance, recently announced a £15 million investment to reduce the prices of staples like rice, pasta, and chicken. Nevertheless, certain items, such as milk and eggs, remain relatively expensive compared to pre-COVID levels. Jamie Keeble, co-founder of sausage and burger maker Heck, which supplies most major supermarkets, noted that pork prices were expected to remain high for the next 18 months. He suggested that the only way supermarkets could lower their prices was by asking suppliers to cut costs, stating, "We're certainly not in a position to start decreasing our product prices." Ultimately, the supermarkets will have to accept reduced margins if they genuinely want to reduce shelf prices. That's the only way. Separately, all four supermarket executives endorsed calls for greater transparency regarding fuel prices. MPs highlighted that petrol and diesel prices in Northern Ireland were lower due to widespread data sharing with drivers. Last month, a study by the London School of Economics found that nearly a third of food price inflation since 2019 was attributed to Brexit. This news story is brought to you by QLM Business News, your digital media channel. Visit qlmbusinessnews.com. For more business news stories, also follow us on Facebook, X, and YouTube. To help QLM Business News bring you more news stories like this, please like, share and subscribe. This news story is brought to you by QLM Business News, your digital media channel. Visit qlmbusinessnews.com. For more business news stories, also follow us on Facebook, X, and YouTube. To help QLM Business News bring you more news stories like this, please like, share, and subscribe. This news story is brought to you by QLM Business News, your digital media channel. Visit QLMbusinessnews.com. For more business news stories, also follow us on Facebook, X, and YouTube. To help QLM Business News bring you more news stories like this, please like, share, and subscribe.